Hello everybody, Hell Broke Loose here. I got a particular topic that I need to get off my brain and chest before I can get back to politics. And this is one that all the people that agree with me will appreciate. I'm going to slay Christianity. I'm going to just slay it. And if you doubt what I'm getting ready to say, which is supported by evidence from all over the world, you got problems. They're your problems. But the trouble is, you make it the country's problems. Because it's never enough for a Christian on the right wing. There's a lot of peaceful and good left-wing Christians, and we got so much going on right now that there's no need to focus on good people that's still hung up in the church. Okay, they're good people, and that's what comes first and foremost if you're a good person. The right wing of America, they're not good people. Maybe they're sprinkled in here and there, confused by what their parents have told them. Okay? But the right wing is full of the most rotten people in our history. All right, let's kill Christianity here. As I've said 1,000 times, Genesis did not happen. There's not 1 degree of possibility in all of the universe that Genesis happened. And since it's proved to never have happened, faith cannot bring it back. It's not possible. The definition of faith is to believe in something that cannot be proven or disproven. Genesis has been disproven. Nothing happened of consequence 6,050 years ago. There weren't 2 of the first human beings in some fucking garden. One of them made from dirt and the other made from a rib. No, this shit didn't happen. There was no talking snake that had more power than the creator of this universe. Because according to your fucking story, this perfect God that made every speck on every star, in every nebula, in every galaxy, in every solar system, in this goddamn universe, didn't have the power of one of his sons, who ended up being called Lucifer. And he talked through a snake, and he out-talked Daddy-O. That shit didn't happen. So therefore, wipe out the next 66 goddamn books. They're bullshit. Because without the foundation of Genesis, you don't have a fucking thing, Christians. You don't even have Christ. Now, what they have decided was there was this dude, there was a preacher, that had a pretty decent following for the time, named Yeshua ben Joseph. 300 years later, after the time of this Yeshua ben Joseph, stories started getting put together called Christianity. 300-400 years. This went on in Rome. They created a religion for one goddamn purpose: to rule humanity. The book is a myth. There are some actual places in it, like Egypt, Iran, shit like that. But there are no events that took place. None of the characters lived. And it's common for a fictional book to have factual geographics, like New York. You can make a fictional story out and talk about New York. Well, you can make a fictional story and talk about Egypt and Gaza and Iran and all that bullshit, okay? You got a fictional story. So the plan was very fucking successful to rule the masses. The emperors and kings and power mongers always knew that they could keep control of the fringe element if they could keep control of the mass. They could keep somewhat control of the fringe element. They could stop the fringe element from doing things like helping us to live to be 700-800 years old by now if we had science instead of religion. And I wonder why you devout Christians don't want that, because I've been in ERs and I've been in intensive care units when 92-year-old Aunt Mabel is in there having lived a full life and she's dying, and all you fuckers out here are making an ass out of yourself, wailing, pissing, and moaning with your preacher and all that bullshit. So why wouldn't you want to live 700-800 years yourself if you're grieving so hard about a 92-year expectancy? See, the life expectancy, all because of science, has doubled in the last 218 years. Imagine if our government talked about science the way religion is pushed in. Imagine if we had scientific people, minded population deciding who's our president instead of the pathetic, hypocritical to the roots and core right-wing evangelists. You know what they stand for now? Gluttony, pride, sloth, envy, rage, vengeance, you name it. The 7 deadly sins and more. They worship Trump for having all of them. You know what else evangelicals support? Raping women. Oh, they supported that always. That rape's an act of God. Who in their right mind could agree with that goddamn shit? It's enraging. That's what half or better of the Christian population of America represents and stands for. Anyone I'm pissing off is a part of that mass. You are my enemy. You are the enemy of my granddaughter and my friends' daughters and sons and granddaughters. You are the enemy of life. There has never been in the history of humanity a murder machine like Christianity. And now it's even worse because greed rode into power on the back of Christianity. And here's where all you true believers, if you still believe after this video, are going to hell. In the New Testament, your apostles and your Christ commanded you to obey the laws of the land. The most important laws of our land are in the Constitution. All laws created after that are supposed to be based on the Constitution. Supposed to be, but some of them aren't, because we have had a conservative Christian fucking Supreme Court for way too long, who also only preach the Bible to lead you sheep around by the ear just like that. They're for corporate power. They're for unfair voting. So I'm going to wrap it up right here. Christianity is now gutted. Sometimes this video, what I just said, comes to me over and over when I have clarity in my mind and I can pull out of myself and objectively look at this world. Education is so precious and priceless. You ignorant people should get busy trying to educate yourself on all facts under the sun. There's nothing like it. In your mind's eye, with your eyes open, you can see across the ocean. You can see around the world. You can pinpoint in your mind, you can pick a spot and pick the bank that has $100 trillion in it, and then picture Nigeria. Picture all of Africa except for some parts in the southern tip. And ask yourself, why are people dying of starvation? Why do 10-year-olds weigh 30 pounds? Because of greed. And as long as religion has any say in our government, greed is going to murder, and Christianity is going to keep murdering. There are some philosophies within that Bible that can be pulled out, completely separate from that pile of filth, murder, trash, rape, hatred, genocide, infanticide, and used once that book is seen for what it is, a myth. Back to politics next time, friends. Had to get that out there. Rock on.